This is Brick Wall Cinema with Chance the Riot and Sergio Huezo. And on today's episode, we talk about Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues.
Oh, shucks.
You can't say that anymore, Sergio. We're going to be played on live TV. This is broadcast news, man. You can't be saying stuff like that.
I can say whatever I want. We're getting ratings, man.
We need the
As long as
ratings.
we get the ratings.
It's sweeps week.
Exactly. No one cares. Ratings are high.
Welcome to Brick Wall. God. This is Brick Wall Cinema with Chance.
Shucks.
Hold on, I already just said that.
Are you doing the intro all over again?
No, I'm just introducing us without the music behind us, as you would on a show.
You did that in the intro.
Yeah, but in news shows, it starts off with the new narrator saying, "This is Brick Wall Cinema with Chance the Riot," and then the person that's the host says like, "Hi, welcome to Brick Wall Cinema. I'm Chance the Riot, and with me today, I got guest Sergio with us talking about Anchorman 2. Now tell us, Sergio, how are you doing today?
I'm tired.
Tired from what?
I just didn't sleep a whole lot last night.
What were you doing?
I was worried about my sister. She wasn't feeling well yesterday.
Oh, is she okay now?
Oh yeah, she's fine. Just everyone was up late last night.
Oh, I slept early. No, actually, that's a lie. I watched the first episode of Has Been Hotel. It's actually pretty good so far. I'm gonna finish watching it after we're done recording.
I was planning to watch it earlier, but yeah, I finally finished the Adam Eve episode, pilot episode.
Before we get into Anchorman, I want to know with Has Been Hotel, is it you saw the YouTube show, right?
The pilot, yes.
How was it compared to the show on YouTube?
I haven't seen the whole thing, but as far as I can see, the character designs from the pilot are a bit different. There's some slight details missing, slight details that were inserted into the show. And also, in the pilot, they didn't really introduce like Charlie's parents, which were like Lucifer and Lilith. But in the show, they do, and they also have it as more of a music. But in this, they're both pretty much the same, like really raunchy humor, like pretty smart humor too, about a bunch of different topics that mostly relate to religion and also like morals as well. Let's see. They had changed a few of the voice actors though. Like I can tell with like Alistair, the radio demon. The voice in the pilot was actually a lot more like actually coming out from like an older time radio, whereas in this one it's a bit smoother and doesn't sound as much with interference as in the original pilot. And let's see, in the pilot, Charlie actually has less red and is more like just like a B.T. Barnum was in The Greatest Showman.
I mean, P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, P.T. Barnum. Sorry. I get it mixed up sometimes. And let's see. Overall, most of them are the same. I just feel like they have a bigger budget and went more into detail in the show.
Yeah, the two characters I know, like I could tell. I don't think they were in the original one, but I know the actresses and actors in it. Like I know Keith David is in it. He's like the bartender. He played
Husker.
Yeah, he was Dr. Facilier, the voodoo man in Princess and the Frog. And Stephanie Beatrice, she's like, I think her best friend in it. Is that what she is? Like the one with the X around her eye?
It's Vicky, I think. I think that's her name. But no, she's actually her girlfriend. Or at least I think that's how they are in the show. I haven't seen the whole thing quite yet. But in the pilot, they are together in a relationship.
Okay. So, like, she's voiced by Stephanie Beatrice, who I think is bi in real life, too. She came out, like, a couple years ago. I remember it's because they made a whole point of it being on Brooklyn Nine-Nine that she was bi. And she was also in Encanto as...
Mirabelle.
Yeah, Mirabelle. Yeah, I lost track of time for a minute there.
Oh, no worries. It's really hard to keep track of that sometimes. She's been in some pretty good stuff, though.
Yeah, she's awesome. I like her and everything she's in.
Yeah, I don't know if they changed anything about the characters' relationships or anything like that in the show, but as far as I know, it's mostly more or less the same. Vicky and Charlie are in a relationship, and you can tell a lot about like the kind of demon they are actually from the design, because the creator Vizzy actually said that she wanted their design to convey a lot about who the demon was and how it is like if they were human at one point, how they died. You can tell like how Vicky has this X over her eye and her hair covers that. It showed, I believe it's shown because one of the causes of like injuries that she had when she was alive, or like the cause of her death was had to do with that spot. I believe the X is supposed to indicate they were shot in that place. So it's either fact that she got shot in the head right in that spot, or something else. But the designs actually do convey a lot about the character. It's very interesting if you look deep into it.
Okay, because she reminded me a lot of Poison Ivy in the Harley Quinn TV series.
Oh yeah, she's a lot like that, and a lot like actually, I believe they are taking in some inspiration from that. Even though I believe the pilot came out before that, but I do think they have taken. I do believe that there are some similarities because it's really interesting. It's a really interesting. I just believe that in this one they're a little more animated. I noticed that when I saw a few clips of the Harley Quinn series that the sometimes the frames weren't as expressive as they are in like other animated shows. But overall, I did there are similarities, and I do think this is going to be like a pretty good, interesting story.
All right. Well, I'm still going to finish the rest of the episodes. I got to catch up on that and Invincible, but that's for another time. Anyway, thanks for listening to our review for Hazbin Hotel. All right. Later. No, I was kidding. Well, we talked about that for a while now. Anyway, let's get into the meat of the
Meat and potatoes.
yeah, meat and potatoes. That was exactly what I was gonna say. Thank you for finishing my sentence, Sergio. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm hungry. Let's go.
Do you want to eat before we start doing the podcast, or do you just want to go with it and just starve?
That's all right. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Anchorman 2: The Legend Continues, the sequel to the 2004 hit Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy. It came out 2013, rated PG-13, and some synopsis for the movie is
Wait, I
7
thought we
years.
should be on unrated version.
The movie Anchorman 2: The Legend Continues, rated P. No, shit. The Anchorman 2: The Legend Continues came out in 2013, 9 years after the original movie. And here's a synopsis for the movie. 7 years after capturing the heart of co-anchor Veronica Corningstone, played by Christina Applegate, newsman Ron Burgundy, played by Will Ferrell, is offered a chance of a lifetime. A spot on the world's first 24-hour global cable news network. Ron quickly assembles his team: Champ Kind, played by David Kushner, Brian Fantana, played by Paul Rudd, and Brick Tamlin, played by Steve Carell. Challenged by his tough female boss, a network owner, and a popular anchor, Ron and his pals must find their own way to the top of the ratings. Let's start with first impression, Sergio. How about you? You go first. We're
This
waiting.
movie, like as you said before, does take the humor of the first one and tries to kick it up a notch. I noticed that they do a lot more like sideway gags, slideshow gags, or like things that would be prevalent during the 80s, but just like exaggerated. And honestly, but at first, sometimes actually during the movie, I actually forgot this was taking place during the 80s, even though like it probably should be pretty obvious. And let's see. The humor actually was pretty entertaining, more entertaining than the first one. I liked it probably a lot better than the first one.
Wow. Okay. I am sort of in the same camp as you, Sergio, where I still love the first movie. The first one's a 5 out of 5 for me. I think we just talked about this last week. So I'm still standing where I am about that first movie. This movie is everything that you wanted it to be for a sequel to Anchorman. Let's just jump into the fun facts for this movie before we get going, okay? This movie put Will Ferrell back on the map after the failure of Land of the Lost 4 years prior to this movie. Have you ever seen Land of the Lost?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see why it took a while for him to get back.
I thought it was just an actual comedy movie. It wasn't anything serious.
It is. That might be the problem. It was just boring. Do you know it was based off of an old TV show from the 60s, I believe, or 70s?
No.
Yeah, that's why I started off with the old Universal logo.
What Universal logo?
The old school 80s Universal logo. The one with the Earth? With the words Universal over the Earth? The one where it says an MCA company at the bottom of it?
Chances came out in 2009. I'm not going to remember that.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, did you know that a sequel to Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy had been in plans for several years, but stalled even with Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd, and Steve Carell taking pay cuts to keep the budget down because Paramount Pictures didn't like the numbers and didn't agree to a sequel initially. But however, the studio later decided to greenlight the sequel. Oh yeah, that's the end of it. Okay.
Where was Paul Rudd?
Are you kidding me?
I don't remember seeing him in here.
He's Brian Fantana.
Oh, I didn't recognize him with all the hair.
This is the second movie where he played the same character, a prominent character, and you forgot that he was Paul Rudd.
Yes, because I don't remember him seeing him with all the facial hair and the hair. When we first saw the movie, I didn't actually know who he was.
Wow. Okay. Everything's starting to make sense now with you. No offense. I'm sorry I said that. I mean, I didn't mean to say that. Did you know that they switched production companies between movies?
No.
Yeah, so the first movie was made by DreamWorks and this one from Paramount, but then Paramount acquired DreamWorks in 2006. But despite selling it off later, they kept all the movies that DreamWorks' library had before 2011 and ancillary rights, including the sequels, which meant that they can make sequels to movies that came out from DreamWorks before 2011. Did you know that the film was originally conceived as a musical? At least say something, Sergio.
I'm thinking. Because I do remember like a few parts where it seemed like it might have gone to a musical. Then there was that whole part where they sang about Dobie, favorite character, underrated character.
The
Pretty
shark?
much the show. Yes, Dobie the shark.
Well,
Uh,
there is a in the R-rated version of this movie, they had a whole musical number in it. Let me see if I can find it. Stay tuned.
Chance,
And we're back.
you really gotta get that in order, man.
So
All right, let's start from the top.
I just showed Sergio the quote unquote gay way song from the R-rated version of Anchorman 2. And what do you think of that song, Sergio?
Honestly, it's pretty funny, but I, let's see. The last part of the song where Brick talks about saying like he would be like Spider-Man, and then back to an earlier scene in the film where Ron is with his son and he says that Spider-Man is a terrible superhero. It reminded me a lot like saying like it kind of feels like they're making jabs at like the Sam Raimi films of Spider-Man, and it also felt like specifically that they're making fun of like the fact that J. Jonah Jameson is always angry with Spider-Man, which I get because they're news reporters. And Jameson is like, I think the CEO or the boss of
Daily
the
Bugle?
Daily Bugle. Yes,
You were gonna say Daily Planet, weren't you?
no, Daily.
I
It was Daily something, but I didn't remember because I remember it with like but there's been like so many iterations of it that I forget like all these news things that the superheroes are in. It's always the Daily something, Daily Planet, Daily Bugle, all that
It's
stuff.
mainly those two. Anyway, I want to try talking about the ratings for this movie because they have
They're
different
god awful.
not those ratings, Sergio.
But you just admitted they exist.
I'm gonna get to that. Hold that thought. Put a pin in, okay? So the ratings I'm talking about are the different versions of this movie that have different ratings in it. First, we got the PG-13 theatrical cut. Second, we got the unrated cut on DVD and Blu-ray. And we got the supersized R-rated version with 763 more jokes, including a song number. And I made a unanimous decision for me and Sergio to watch the unrated cut because I believe that that's the best version of this movie. They don't have.
You know what unanimous means, right?
Yes, we all agreed.
But you said you made that decision.
I made a decision for us to make a unanimous decision.
That's not a unanimous decision. That's you making the decision.
No, I had the idea to make it a decision, which makes us unanimous. I had the idea saying, "Hey, let's make
No,
a unanimous."
unanimous is when everyone agrees to do that, but you're the one who made the decision.
Yeah,
That's not
I had
unanimous.
the decision to make the decision to be unanimous. So I made the idea saying, "Hey, we should
You
make this
can't
unanimous."
decide for everyone to be unanimous. That's not how
Yes, you
that
can.
works. I can't tell if you're making a sound effect or not because I can't hear them.
I'm not making a sound effect. I'm just letting you sit with that stupid comment.
But you can't make everyone be unanimous. They have to decide to be unanimous.
Like I had an idea to where we can make a result based off on a unanimous decision. There's always a choice to make things unanimous. It doesn't have to be unanimous to make the decision. You need to start out by someone having an idea saying,
But if it's
"Hey,
not
let's make
unanimous,
this."
then it's not unanimous.
It is unanimous.
But you said that you can make it unanimous even if it isn't
It
unanimous,
was
but that contradicts it.
it was unanimous after I made it unanimous.
You can't make something unanimous.
Yes, it was. Look, so made me
That would
play
be
it
the
out for
same
you.
thing as saying like Norman Osborn said that it was a unanimous decision for him not to leave, even though they said it was unanimous for him to leave.
Oh my
That
god.
makes it contradictory.
We're in different wavelengths right now, Sergio. What I'm saying is that I had the idea of choosing this movie because making this a unanimous decision to choose this movie. So I'm saying, hey, let's choose unanimously together to make this the movie we watch, the version we watch. I'm not saying I unanimously chose a movie. No, I said I unanimously. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I'm gonna let you sit with that stupid comment for a second.
You're not gonna unanimously vote on sitting choose another thing. Hold on. I
I'm
had
not
the
gonna sit here and think about it unanimously. You're gonna say you're gonna take you're taking it unanimously.
I said I'm a
Unanimous, which is not unanimous, but you're saying that you decided to make it unanimous, which it makes it unanimous.
yes. Wait, no, hold on. Unanimous as in I'm not gonna this is the last one I'm gonna say to Sergio. What a tangent. Anyway. So the unrated version. I thought that was the best of both worlds where we got more jokes in the original one and also not as many jokes where it's like, okay, we get it. Go to the next joke with the R-rated version. Sure, there are things we might have missed between both cuts that might have been really good, but I think we can just find those on YouTube if we want to look at the better jokes. There's like a whole like hour and a half long video on YouTube showing all the extended scenes in the movie.
So basically, just an entire movie.
No different shots and different takes of the movie.
It's an hour and a half, so it's almost like it's pretty much a movie.
This movie is 2 hours long, dude. The version we saw was 2 hours long. The R-rated one's 2.5 hours long. The
I'm not
first
saying
one
that
is 2
it's
hours.
the movie. I'm saying that it's like a movie because of how long it is. Most movies are like at least an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the next trivia fact. Do you know that the sequel was originally going to involve the news team becoming stranded on an island after a plane crash and having to fight off a horde of shuriken-yielding orangutans? Another idea involved the news team battling grizzly bears. I know you're going to say
that
happened in the first
sounds
movie. I was going to say that happened in the first movie, but what were you going to say?
I was going to say that sounds like an SNL skit.
Well, surprise, surprise, sir. There was a lot of SNL cast members in this movie. Like Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig, they're on SNL.
Well, there's your fun fact.
That's another fun fact. Did you know?
Did I know what?
No, I'm not. No, let's skip it. Did you know that Marion Cotillard, she played a French Canadian, the news anchor. She was drinking Laughing Clown malt liquor at the end of the fight brawl scene.
Which one?
She was the French Canadian one next to Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Do you know what that's a reference to?
No.
In Talladega Nights. That was the sponsor for the first car in the beginning of the movie, which is literally a laughing clown because they're the laughing stock of NASCAR.
I thought they had a tiger on there. Or was it a cheetah?
You mean the puma at the end of the movie?
Oh, yeah. Wait, it was a puma?
Yeah. Well, no, it's a cougar. It's a cougar.
Oh, a cougar.
Yeah, because like that's a cougar in the car. I know it's a cougar in the car. I put it in there. We should do a whole Will Ferrell month and we just talk about Will Ferrell movies. That won't get old. Oh, okay, next up. In an interview with Empire Magazine, co-writer and director Adam McKay confirmed that he had no plans for a third film, which I am fine with, honestly. I feel like he came out of hiding. It makes more sense when I tell you that he made this movie because Paramount wanted him to make another Anchorman movie, and he said, I'll do it if you let me do The Big Short, which is another movie he wanted to do. So, and also feel like he had a plan for the sequel anyway since the first one came out. At least say an O or something, Sergio. Like, oh,
wow.
It could even be fake. I won't tell.
Well, no, because you told me all this before.
No, I told you that he directed The Big Short. I didn't tell you that this is because he was able to make Anchorman 2.
No, you told me that he was thinking about making an Anchorman 2.
Okay. Well, this is not the first time that Will Ferrell in a movie gifted lingerie to a guy named Walter. Can you guess the other time he did it?
Oh, his father.
Yeah.
Was that before or after this?
This is way after. This
When
is
was
2014.
Elf, released?
Elf came out in 2003.
2003?
Yeah.
So 10 years.
Yeah. Wait.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is he or does he look older and like way older than that? Or is that just me?
That's just you, man. He looks pretty old. No offense, Will Ferrell, if you're listening. He looks,
I don't think he listens to these kind of reviews, but we're big fans anyway.
Yeah, we're big fans. Please have us on your movie, please.
What movie?
I don't know any movie.
Like what movie could we possibly be in?
At least put us on a Funny or Die sketch, please. We can act.
No, we cannot.
I can act.
No, I'm just gonna be there standing in the background, just falling asleep. You're gonna be over there doing dance moves or something spontaneous. That's what I know of.
Yeah, probably. Did you know that this is one of a handful of sequels to perform better with both critics and audiences than its predecessor?
No, it did not.
Anchorman 1 actually grossed $85 million upon release and has 66% of Rotten Tomatoes by critics, respecting ratings respectable for a silly comedy movie, whereas a film grossed $127 million domestically and also has a 75% Rotten Tomatoes rating for the sequel.
Yes, it did better with critics, and the sequel didn't make money, but I saw the percentage on the second one. It did worse with audiences. I was not expecting that.
Well, because it's sort of different. It's if you compare the two, it's sort of like night and day a little bit. Because like with the first one, it was like a silly comedy movie. This one it has more of a message towards it.
Like what message? Because there was a lot of things going around. It
Like
wasn't exactly clear with what the message
or
was.
not really like that. I mean, like, with the first one, I feel like it was just things happening just to happen. Like main point of the movie was that Veronica, the news anchor, is coming in and disrupting the whole like ratings, like the whole the whole Anchorman thing going on. Like we have a new Veronica Corson want to be first female anchor on the news. So that's already shaking things up. But in this one, and that's mainly the whole movie. But in the sequel, we have a lot more going on. It felt more weighted than the other one.
How so?
Well, if off the top of my head, I could say like we already have them as a couple, then they break up, and they have a kid now, so that's also added to the story. And we also got him down on his luck, back to like his beginnings of San Diego, screwed up, day drinking and sexually assaulting starfishes at SeaWorld.
I'm not sure if we should be laughing at that, but it's funny.
It's funny because he just out of nowhere saying, "Guess what, Trevor? Last night I came over here early and I sexually assaulted a starfish."
Oh man, why does it remind me so much of like The Boys with like the deep?
Oh God, why did it bring that up?
Because it's the same thing.
It's really not. We don't see it with this movie.
It's implied though.
Anyway, then he has the offer to go to GNN to do for a 24-hour news channel, which people are really skeptical about because 24-hour news hasn't been done, which is basically
What?
24-hour news hasn't been done before, like a channel that's never off. It's a new thing in the 80s.
Oh, okay. Then wouldn't the whole point of this movie kind of show like the transition from how news was back in the day to how it is now?
It is. You didn't realize that?
No, that's what I thought. So isn't that the whole point of the movie?
It is, but there's also subplots of things that have more weight on them than the last movie. Because
They're
yeah,
not treated as they have more weight.
yeah, they do.
Like what has more weight?
Like it's not. When I put weight into it, I don't mean more emotional. I'm saying more of a ground, like a reality basis of it in a way. Where yeah, they
You
can
mean
have a
they're
lot
more
of
grounded?
yes. Like once he comes back to the newsroom, he first thing he does, like after he gets his job and settles in, he goes see his wife, finds out that she's seeing someone that might be psychic, and tries to reconnect with his son.
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly, yeah. And going to go see, and then hooking up with his boss, his black boss, which he instantly keeps on which he repeatedly keeps on saying that she's black, which I don't know why that got me laughing every time.
Black. You're black. Jesus, just stop, Ron. I'm terribly sorry. I don't know why I can't stop saying black. The word black.
Hello, Mr. Burgundy.
Black.
Especially Brick saying, "A black man follows me everywhere." Brick, I think that's your shadow. I named him Leon. Then we have the whole thing with the owner of the news company not wanting to push news that might hinder his business because he owns both the news company and also the airline that they're focusing
He
on.
owns shares in both. He owns shares in another company that would be tanked if he reported news about it being faulty.
Yes, which brings up the idea of how can you have a news channel that's really be revolutionary, but not want to bring out one of the most important news stories because it will hurt you, which that's already an interesting concept at first. And we also have Jack Lame or Jack Lime, or I'm not going to say the other word because there might be kids
He
listening.
changes his name a lot.
Yeah. Played by James
Basically,
Marsden.
Cyclops from X-Men.
Yeah, James Marsden. And he, like, once he trips Ron Burgundy on the ice rink, he goes blind, and next you know he's
Which
like,
makes no sense.
what do you mean makes no sense?
Him tripping makes him blind.
Yeah.
That's not how eyes work.
Well, he fell on his face.
You
Or
never
side of
fallen
his
on your face before?
Yeah, but I don't want to test to see how hard I have to fall down to make me blind, though.
You don't have to fall down that hard.
It's a comedy, man.
I know. That's what's funny about it.
It's supposed to push the story along, Sergio.
I know. That's what makes it funny.
You're making it seem like he tripped and then got blind.
Yes. That's exactly what happened. His skate got caught on a cord and he fell. Then he became blind.
He was spinning in the air, though, Sergio. You forgot that he was spinning in the air.
Then he landed and then his skate got caught on the cord.
But that was a lot of force.
You never fallen down while ice skating?
No. Yes. But
no, that's a lie. So have I. It does not cause you to go blind.
I haven't fallen face first, though. I wouldn't know.
So you're saying falling face first while ice skating will make you blind?
I don't know. I'm not a skater. I'm a roller skater.
And I can it's the same thing.
It's really not. One's ice cold. The other one is just a ground.
So you think that being ice cold is going to make you blind?
Probably.
No, that's not how that works. If that were true, then people who have lived in in places where it heavily snows and constantly falling down would go blind all the time.
It might.
That's not how that works.
Have you ever ice skated before?
Yes.
How recently?
That was a few years ago.
Well, you should try again and try falling on your face and tell me if you get blind. Get back to me on that. Do it again.
Why? Exactly. Shut your mouth.
Anyway, then he's all alone, has to reconnect with his family in the lighthouse.
He aggressively rubs his shins in the morning.
I can't even masturbate.
Why?
One morning I spent 20 minutes aggressively rubbing my shin, wondering where's the sensation, where's the pleasure coming?
You rubbed your shin thinking it was a penis?
I know you think I'm stupid, don't you?
No.
The weirdo who lives in the weird lighthouse in the middle of nowhere.
Ron, it was your choice to live in a weird lighthouse.
Because he's blind.
He can't tell ketchup from like a bourbon, I don't know, some kind of alcohol until he drank half the bottle. He can't tell a wooden, sort of thick wooden plate from a waffle.
Clearly wouldn't know halfway through eating it.
Are you not hearing? He's blind.
Oh my God.
Yet through all that, he managed to take care of a shark with his son.
Named Dobie.
Yes. First he wanted to name it Crackers. Then Ron was like, no, that's stupid. Name it Dobie.
You know, I want to say something about that kid. Nothing against the kid, but I don't think he was the best. It felt a little off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's just because of how young he was.
Hi, Dad. Thanks for the present.
But I thought it fit well with the whole fact it's just an over exaggeration of how things were in the 80s, so it just really didn't bother me that much. Also, he wasn't in that many scenes.
Oh yeah, but it was a prominent point in the movie though.
It was a prominent point, but it wasn't a prominent part of the movie. More or less, it was just more or less of just a developing of Ron's character. Overall, that's about it. And then Dobie comes back.
How do we know that was Dobie though?
Because Ron would know Dobie.
How would he? He was blind when he was taking care of him.
Oh,
got you there. Got you there. I got you.
So then why does Baxter call him Dobie?
Oh.
I guess I got you there then.
Oh no. Oh God.
I guess you're right. It must not be Dobie. But then why did Baxter call him Dobie?
You know.
I banish thee, Dobie.
You know what? Go fly, kite. Next up, after that, he gets there. He goes back to the newsroom, and he gets greeted by everyone saying, "Welcome back." Turns out that once he's about to come back on the air, he gets offered his big job, but also found out that he has a recital to go to for his son. And
not really offered a big job. It's more like just a story that's happening right now that they want him to do so that he can make his big comeback.
That's what I meant. So he's tied between, do I go help my career or go help me be a better dad? Which leads to, I believe, is it your favorite scene, Sergio? Because I think it's one of my favorites.
The big fight scene they have outside the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene. But it's
Okay.
basically just like the same thing as with all the news channels back in the first one, except this one it's all the news networks.
Yeah. And I got a list of the cameos that were in that scene. So let me just run them off to you and see if any of them catch your eye. Kirsten Dunst as Eucronius of the Clouds, the Valkyrie like goddess of battle. She
I'm not
was
sure that's what that is because Ares is a god of battle of war.
she's a goddess of battle though. She was Mary Jane in Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, the original ones. Next we got Jim Carrey and Marion Cotillard as the Canadian anchors.
I only know Jim Carrey.
Of course you do.
Duh.
Uncultured. Now we got John C. Reilly as the ghost of Stonewall Jackson. Can we not downplay the fact that that's the ghost of Stonewall Jackson? He was also in Step Brothers and Talladega Nights. We also got Liam Neeson as the head of the History Channel. Wasn't expecting that.
I just find it funny that they got like this well-established serious actor to play a news reporter for a history channel. It just seems like it almost seems like irony.
Well, he does a lot. He's not only he does a lot of like mediocre movies too, Sergio. So Sergio, don't forget about that. He's not.
No,
really
I know that. It's just that it feels funny that he was picked for that role. It just seems like fitting and like hilariously fitting.
It's the voice, isn't it?
Yes. What do you think I was referring to?
We also got Will Smith as an ESPN reporter with a lisp.
He has a lisp?
Yeah, he has a lisp in that scene. You didn't catch on to that?
No, I didn't catch on to that.
I shouldn't make a point about that. I think I have a lisp when I speak on here. I can't tell though. It's my voice. I can't really tell.
I didn't hear any lisp.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Without Scott Riles and the incredibly polite Canadian news team.
No.
Incredible.
French-speaking Quebec news, the real voice of Canada.
Give it a rest, eh?
Give me a break.
Oh yeah, there's a whole political thing about that.
What?
Yeah, there's a whole political thing about that because the French technically conquered like Canada, and they didn't really leave. So like they have like a kind of like a political thing where some people believe that they are French, some people think that Canada is its own sovereign country, but they're like still connected to French roots. It's like a whole thing.
Oh, welcome to Brick Wall History, everyone.
Kind of like how is with like Ireland and Britain, where like the Ireland wants to be its own country, but it's still technically under like a Britain like government.
Oh, okay. I think I pulled it up right now. Here it is.
Jeff Bullington, ESPN All Sports. Tonight's player today is me, extracting your spine from your dead body.
Holy.
Never mind. I'm sorry, Will Smith. Please don't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. He doesn't sound like I have to lift. I'm sorry, Will Smith. Please don't attack me. Please don't attack me. We all know you will.
You mentioned that he is actually one of the more intimidating ones of actually this scene. Like we're the most intimidated by him.
He has a walkie telling him to like has access to a plane with bombs on it. Of course he's scary. He also has a bat with him.
Actually, I think it's a jet that has like a Gatling gun.
Oh yeah. Well, also, it's a dead joke already. I know we're being a dead horse right now, but we all know he's the most, I think, second most violent person on that field right now.
Probably.
Yeah. And we all know what we can do without a bat. Anyway.
You know, this actually got me curious. What if we had like a bunch of actors who could actually fight all in this kind of same scenario?
What do you mean, like a celebrity death match?
It's something like that, where they just like, where it's a similar thing to this movie, where a bunch of actors saying like, we're now the top action hero actors, and there's just a bunch of like action hero cliches that happen all over the battlefield. It would just be funny.
But I think we're talking about the Expendables.
Oh yeah, true. But I would think, like if they all fight each other instead of falling alongside each other, I feel like it would be just as hilarious.
Like celebrity death match.
Celebrity deathmatch, that's a thing?
Yeah, it's on MTV a couple, like in the early 2000s, I think, or early 90s. They had.
I mean, I've heard about something similar to a celebrity deathmatch, but I never heard of this. I think the only thing I ever saw close to it was like the early episode of like Death Battle, where they had like Justin Bieber versus I don't know the name of the singer, but it was like on early version of Death Battle. It was hilarious and also overly exaggerated.
Yeah, it was stop motion animation.
It wasn't stop motion.
No, Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was all stop motion animation. Like has one character celebrity pit against the other one in a boxing ring.
Oh, just like Mike Tyson versus like I don't know, that old woman in a Family Guy.
Oh yeah.
Come here, young man. I'm gonna bop you one.
She's getting beat. No, she's getting mad.
I don't understand. She keeps on getting up.
No, she's getting mad.
You're going down, young man. You're going down. Oh.
Is that the episode where Stewie keeps beating up Brian,
Yes.
asking where's his money?
Yes.
Yeah, that hurt? That hurt? What the hell? Yeah, that don't feel so good, does it? No, huh? Yeah, that's what happens, man. Oh my God!
Memories.
I kept getting confused because I was like, Brian, why don't you just give him the money? And it's like, do you not have the money? Where's the money?
Oh yeah, I remember that. And we also got Ye or Yee as MTV host.
What?
Yee or Ye.
You mean Kanye?
He likes to be called Ye now.
Oh, I'm not gonna call him that because I don't know what that means.
That's his name, Sergio. You're not gonna call somebody their name?
That's his actual name or his new stage name?
Well, that's the stage. That's his name on IMDb.
I don't know what that is.
Like if I pull up Ye, if I type in Ye on Google, I swear to you, the first thing that's gonna come up, yep, Kanye.
Yee.
Yee.
Did Yee, formerly Kanye West, replace his teeth with titanium dentures?
Oh, that was a day ago. Wait, no, it's not. That was a couple months ago.
No, it says right here, 1 day. Oh wait.
No, shut up.
No, it doesn't say 1 day ago.
I'm cutting this all out. But yeah, Ye's
Never
MTV
mind, I'm looking at a
host.
different post. Kanye West debuts metal teeth. What the hell?
Alrighty then.
Wait, are they like retainers, like how some people do, like where they have like caps on their teeth, or is it like implanted?
I think they have to be.
Hmm.
Anyway,
I don't get why people do that.
we also got Vince Vaughn as West Mantooth of Channel 9 News. He was in the first movie.
Oh yeah, he came back. I'm not really sure why.
He had to be back in this one. Why not? Him and Will Ferrell are buddies.
True. Wait, what other movies has he appeared in with Will Ferrell?
The Internship, Wedding Crashers, Starsky and Hutch, just to name a few. Anchorman and Legend of Ron Burgundy. That's a lot.
That's 4.
Well, I'm sorry they don't have their own filmography synced up with each other, Sergio.
No, but him and the other guy do.
John C. Reilly?
Yeah.
Not really. They have like a few movies together.
They had the Anchorman 2. They have, wasn't he in Lost Island?
Which one?
Lost Island.
Lost Island?
No, the bad one that they had been like 4 years before this one.
What are you talking about?
We talked about it earlier in this podcast.
Talladega Nights?
No, that was. I'm talking about the bad movie, the one with the dinosaurs and the lizard people.
Oh, Land of the Lost.
Yes,
Yeah, no. That you're thinking of Danny McBride.
that was Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Hmm.
sometimes shocking how many
You know-
people you know. but some they
Despite
don't.
how good friends these guys are, they actually aren't in a whole lot of movies together.
Yeah, but they're like in a trilogy of movies together. Like they have
Trilogy?
kind of like Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, and Holmes and Watson. They're sort of like a trilogy together in a way. Because I think all three of them start off with quotes too.
Quotes.
Yeah. And Talladega Nights, the only one I remember is Talladega Nights when he says like life is all about speed, hot, burning, something speed, and said by Eleanor Roosevelt, even though it was a joke quote. And I think the third one, like Holmes and Watson, had a quote from Miley Cyrus. But anywho, we also got Sacha Baron Cohen as a BBC reporter. You may know him as Borat, or in Talladega Nights as Jean Girard, I think.
The German racer, right? Is he German in that movie?
He's French.
French. Wait, French?
Yeah. Because he grabbed Will Ferrell and put him on a pool board saying, just say I like crepes. And he also endorsed his sponsor is Perrier, which is a French drink. And also the whole argument saying what America has that French didn't.
No, that was just everything they were talking. About like how like they had like great food, but all that food is brought from other cultures.
Bottom line is he was French in that movie. Next up, we got finally Tina Fey and Amy Poehler as entertainment news anchors. And you know Tina Fey. She was in Mean Girls, and Amy Poehler, she was in Parks and Rec, and also Mean Girls as Regina George's mom.
Which one?
In the 2004 one.
Oh, okay. Oh,
What? You better speak on why you just said that, Sergio.
because I just think about the dog biting her nips. It's funny, but it's just disgusting.
I forgot about that.
Yes, it's the only thing I can think about when I think about to the first one. It's just like they zoom
That's the
in on
only
it
thing
too.
you
They
think
focus
of?
so much on it. It's like, look away from that, please. Just stop it.
That's the only thing you can think of when you think of Mean
Well,
Girls
the only thing-
2004?
Yes, that and also her walking into her daughter actually making out aggressively on the bed, then her going out and saying like, "Just let me know if you need any condoms."
Wow. Okay. I think we should talk about our favorite quotes in a movie, I think. I
I
got
don't have
3
any.
of them. Okay, I'll just say my quotes then, because Sergio doesn't have any favorite quotes. So I'll give you context. It was at the beginning of the movie with after Harrison Ford gives Veronica Cornerstone the offer for nightly news.
Oh wait, we forgot
And-
to say him during the battle. He was also in the battle. He turned into a were hyena.
But he's not a cameo though. He was already in the movie.
Exactly, but he is still technically a cameo because he only shows up for that one scene and also earlier in the movie.
Well, I guess so. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that one, Sergio. So when they walk back home saying, "I forbid it," and it's like, "You forbid it? Who do you think you are, Julius Caesar?" And Ron Burgundy says, "Who the hell is Julius Caesar? You know I don't follow the NBA." It's a perfect line. And also the other one is when they're getting ready to report the news at the beginning, he says, "The tooth fairy's exposed breasts made the child uncomfortable." And the last one is when Ron Burgundy sees Jack Lime for the first time, he says, "I bet his poop smells like sandalwood."
I just instantly think of Super Pets.
Oh, right. Is that the exact same joke from...
Yes, it's exact same. They say it smells like sandalwood.
Wow. Super
And
Pets got some explaining to
I
do.
remember because you told me about it, saying like you never saw a poop joke come back and pay off because when he actually does, it does smell like sandalwood. They say it smells like sandalwood.
Okay. I forgot about Super Pets. Pretty good movie. Pretty good movie. All right, let's wrap up this long review for this movie with our
Once
ratings.
it's gonna be long after you edit it, it might not actually be that long.
Oh no, I'm keeping a lot of this in.
All right.
Let's go with our ratings. I gave this 4.5 stars out of 5. It's not the original, but yet it does a lot of new things in the movie, like to where I feel like it felt necessary to release this movie. Where it feel like it's a pointless sequel, just rehashing jokes from the original movie. Even though some of the versions of the movie are certain shots, they have things going on like callbacks to other scenes from the movie. But besides that, it is very focused on doing new jokes, new things. Even if they don't hit all the time, there's another one right behind it to catch the rebound in a way. So I'm sticking with 4 to 5 stars. 4.5 out of 5 stars. What about you, Sergio?
I was tempted to give it like the same reading as I did the first one, which is like a 4 out of 5. But I do admit like some of the jokes are pretty good, and there are scenes that I liked more in this one than I did in the first one because the jokes just seemed to hit better, I guess. Mostly because they didn't focus so much on gross humor, where it was just like really random humor, which was funny. So I would say about the same thing, a 4.5 out of 5.
Wow. We finally reached a middle point. Reached a middle ground.
A common ground.
Common ground. That's what I meant. Yeah. All right. So we got 4.5 out of 5 for both me and Sergio. And we're going to wrap up today's episode with that. Where can I find you, Sergio?
Right here on Brick Wall Cinema.
You can find me at Chance the Riot on Instagram and X. I don't know why there was a long pause. And you can find Brick Wall Cinema on
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, X, Spotify, and others. Have a cinematic day. Hey everyone, Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok at Brick Wall Cinema. Have a cinematic day. Oh no! They come into the back door! Oh no! Grab the children! Save the children! All right, later. Bye.